I'm more confused than ever. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have been working on this little video for a bit. I have been watching some of the Abby Young YouTube videos. She's a content creator, I believe some kind of science background or doctor-ish, but her content is around hair. And for context, a couple of years ago, I got really sick. I lost my hair for the most part, or it got really thin. It was falling out. I ended up cutting it, blah, blah, blah. So what I have been doing is collecting a ton of research that I'd like to share with you. And I am so confused by all this. There's tons of products, so I created a bunch of charts and graphs and tracking mechanisms. So stick around and I'll kind of show you what I did. So first off, watched a bunch of Abby Young's videos. So she goes into all this detail about pre-wash, bond repair treatments. She goes into oil treatments, then what takes place in the shower. She has a couple of favorite products which I purchased. More than a couple, we'll get into it. And then whole post-shower routines, more bond repairing components, serums, leave-ins, more oils, heat protection, just the list goes on and on and on and on. And so I wanted to go through with you how I tried to organize this. Let me just share that I have a master's degree, and I'm sharing that for context because this is so confusing. I'm still confused. So try and follow along with me. I will try to be clear, but I am more confused than ever. So I found a screenshot on her channel, and this was kind of the step-by-step overview. So here it says pre-shower, in-shower, post-shower, and between wash routine. I'll try and find a snip of this, or I'll put it on the screen. And there were so many different steps. So what she recommended that you wash your hair like 3 times a week, or her routine was Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, I want to say, or something like that. But anyway, there were so many different products and different combinations that first step for me was craft time. What do I mean by that? Well, on her channel, she had shared like a calendar, and I wanted to be sure that I was following all the steps appropriately and giving each product its appropriate amount of time to, do its thing, so to speak. And so the first thing I did is I went and I bought a poster board. So as you can see here, what I've kind of detailed out is a month, just kind of laid out the grid. And then in my different bathrooms, I've put, a pad of Post-it notes, some of the products, where I might end up using them. And this is kind of the steps that she wrote out, or she's been detailing out, like I said, through her channel. So Sunday night was the first night I started, so today is Friday. But essentially we'll count up and figure out the products. But the first thing I did, she always states, this must have been, so this was the OGX Bond Protein Repair. So that's one product that I did purchase for this. And then I also have a medicated shampoo from my dermatologist from my whole health issues. So then I put that on my scalp. It's really for your scalp, it's not for your hair. And then she recommended a clarifying shampoo. So I happen to have this little 3-ounce L'Oreal Professional Metal Detox. So I used that. The next big thing that she kind of raves about is K18. So that you put on your hair and you leave it on for 4 minutes. So this is where all of the tracking and so forth starts to kick in. So I set a 4-minute timer on my phone, left it on for exactly 4 minutes, and then after this step, you go in with a hair mask. So, according to the instructions, this is one of the hair masks. This is CER 100, and this you're supposed to leave on for 10 minutes. So, I'm not one to just hang around in the shower, but put the hair mask on, got out of the shower, went and did some stuff, came back, but again, set the timer because I want to really see the accuracy. Then lastly, you're supposed to also use a conditioner. So I picked up the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Super Moisture Conditioner, threw some of that on there, rinsed it all out, and then you are supposed to follow it up with another bond treatment. So she recommends this Living Proof Triple Bond Complex. When you put this step on, you have to wait another 10 minutes before you can put anything else on. So then timed that out and waited for it. Okay. I ran out of space. So at that point, waited the 10 minutes, sprayed my hair with the UV, the Living Proof leave-in conditioner spray, which also has a heat protectant, which she recommended. And then kind of went on about my day. I don't really blow dry my hair every day or heat style it, so that was okay. At night, however, she had been talking about the Ordinary. So this is the Ordinary. This is the multi-peptide serum for hair density. You put a couple of drops on your scalp and then follow it up with more of the Living Proof leave-in conditioner. She also recommends an oil. I just put it on the ends of my hair, so I have this little Moroccan oil that I got from Sephora at one point, but I also tried this. I think this is OGX. This is Nourishing Coconut Oil. Hate the smell of it. It's terrible. And then going off of Abby's recommendations, leaving those, let me just be clear, I wrapped my hair. So, as part of the craft portion of this, I've watched a lot of other creators too. And so what I did was I took these, I bought these at the dollar store. They're longer. I'll show a picture. I chopped them in half and then I sealed the edge with some no fray fabric because my hair is not that long, and wrapped them up in this and covered it. I also have satin pillows, etc., etc. So all of this, that was on day one. The next day was not a wash day. However, there are still steps to be taken, don't you worry. So the next day I put, I have some Biolage leave-in conditioner. I must have forgot that amongst the 8,000 steps that I have here. And again, I used the Ordinary stuff on my scalp before I went to bed, wrapped them up again in the little roller things, and that was Monday. Tuesday, very similar. Except I also used the OGX, the Bond Spray, and then I kind of soaked my hair in this, which is what she says pre-shower, and then also waited 10 minutes, that's the recommendation, and then kind of douse your hair in hair oil, and then I wrapped it. So the bond strengthener, the oil, you're supposed to do that prior to shampooing, but she also said you could do it the night before, so I did because all of this takes quite some time. So Wednesday was hair washing day again. So again, I used the medicated shampoo, the L'Oreal Detoxify, the K18, the hair mask, all the different timings. You know, the leave-in, the living proof leave-in, the Moroccan oil. Another night, wrapped it again, etc. Thursday was another in-between day. So again, with the leave-in and heat protection. And then at night, the ordinary, some different oils and so forth. And then today was Friday. So again, I did just get this. This is the Apres Bond Builder. So I had ordered it. I was waiting for it. This came. And here's the dilemma. So I have done all of this Wednesday and Thursday. So my hair has a decent amount of products on it. And her instructions are to, before you shampoo, soak your hair in bond or strengthener, like soak it, make it wet. And then wait 10 minutes, apply your oils, wait another 20 minutes, and then wash your hair. But my thought is, by today, my hair was so weighed down with all of these other products. How can it possibly penetrate all those layers of product to actually do anything to strengthen your hair? So that's all part of this science experiment, if you will. That I did follow the instructions. I put it in, and then I waited 10 minutes, put my timers on, put the oil in, waited 20 minutes, you know, followed everything with the shampoo, the K18, the mask, and then the conditioner, then the leave-in, and so forth. So my plan is to continue on my little documentation and journey. And share it with you if you're interested. And like I said, kind of the big deviation was she puts her hair, I believe, in kind of like a loose spun-ish ponytail. I'm putting them in these kind of silk foamy rollers and kind of switching in and out. Not really switching in and out. I bought kind of exactly the products that were highly recommended in her videos, which, by the way, let's talk about some of that. So, one of her she's a big proponent of this K18. So this was, I'm writing down notes, $75. I believe I had like a 10 or 20% off. I didn't pay $75 for it, but that's the retail price. This Apres, this was a starter kit, and this was $50. However, she had a 20% off code. So it was this and I think another refill, which makes several ounces of it, which is supposed to last 4 months or something like that. So that was $50 or $40 because of the discount. The other one, this Living Proof Triple Bond Complex, I just got the 10 milliliter. We'll see how long this lasts. But this was about $20. I think I picked this up at like a CVS or something like that. I had the L'Oreal Metal Detox, but this is probably about half empty at this point, so I'll have to repurchase at some point. I also bought this OGX. This was the original Bond Repair, and I think this was 10. When you're not using the clarifying shampoo, I did pick up this OGX Bond Repair Shampoo, Bond Repair Conditioner to use on the days that I'm not using the clarifying, but honestly, I feel like I'm putting so much stuff in my hair that I need to clarify, so I think those were about $7 each. This Living Proof Leave-In Conditioner Spray, I happened to pick this up at like TJ Maxx or Marshall's, and it was about $17. And what else do I have? So this Moroccan oil, I believe this little size is 20 at Sephora. I already have this, but I'm going to count it anyway. And then this oil, this was like another 7 at like the pharmacy. This one was a little pricier. Oh, I got this Briogeo conditioner at TJ Maxx as well, and it was 10. So let me total all that up for you, and we'll see what my little experiment has cost me so far. 1 second. All right, I think I found, well, I forgot one. So this mask, I believe this was like $7. It's regularly 10, but I think I found it on sale. And so my grand total right now is about $208.75. So I didn't buy all this stuff all at once. I've been picking it up throughout the weeks, but that is quite a lot of money for sure, and quite a lot of steps. So, all right, let's talk about timing. So in addition to the multitude of products, there's also the time commitment and reading through the recommendations on each of the labels. So the first thing is the Bond Repair Spray. So you're supposed to soak your hair with this, dampen it, and leave it on for 10 minutes. Then you follow that up with an oil treatment. So put the oil in your hair, and you're supposed to wait an additional 20 minutes. So before you hop in the shower, you're already 30 minutes into this. Next, in the shower, she recommends a double cleanse. However, I'm using the medicated shampoo and then the clarifying shampoo. So that takes a couple of minutes too. Then the Bond Repair treatment. So the K18, you're supposed to leave on for 4 minutes for effectiveness. So that is another 4 minutes. And then your mask. So the conditioning mask, the one that I was using, is another 10 minutes. So at that point, you know, hopped out of the shower, threw my hair in a little microfiber and left that on for at least 10 minutes. Then you have to hop back in and then put on your conditioner, leave that in for a minute or two, and then post shower. So then you're supposed to spray the post-shower Bond treatment on your hair and leave that on for 10 minutes. Don't blow dry, don't do anything else. So another 10 minutes. And then finally, you can add in any kind of styling or blow dry your hair, flat iron, and so forth. So altogether, it's a pretty big time commitment to just wash your hair. So just wanted to kind of share that in addition to the products, the matrix of how they're recommended to be used, but also, you know, timing everything out, figuring out when you have the time to be able to do that. Are you going to do some steps before or some steps the day of, and how to kind of fit them all in. So that's the other complicating factor of this little process. So I am doing it for the team here, and we'll see how it turns out. If you're interested in my little journey here, I'd love to have you join in, share anything that your tips and tricks. I would say, honestly, the little wrapping of things, I think, has made my hair in the morning feel like not as matted, and then when I brush it through, it's not as broken. It's still drying or whatever, but I am going to continue to follow this step-by-step instruction guide. I'm going to continue to document my chart here, and I will continue to check in on you. So I took some pictures of my journey, and I will continue to keep you updated. So if you have any comments, questions, thoughts, feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Bye.